Good morning, welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and this morning I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 5th of October. Now if you are new here, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit those like buttons guys as well, and comment down below. You know I love hearing from you guys. We have great little chats here on my channel. Now first, just before I get started, I just want to let you guys know, yes, the latest in Australia here, because we like to keep each other up to date, is that yes, they now have a vaccine for melanoma. Now, if you don't know, Australia has a very high rate of melanoma, which is sun cancer caused from the sun. And they were saying on the news this morning that now they are using the same mRNA technology for the vaccine to stop melanoma virtually in its tracks, I think they were saying. And they were just talking about how wonderful it worked with the CV virus and how it built up everybody's immune system so they became resistant to the CV virus, which is very strange because from our viewpoint, everybody caught CV virus, but that didn't sort of get mentioned. But as we all know, my sister and many others think they wouldn't have got it as bad and gone to hospital, so because that's what they were told. So now they're using the mRNA protein, yes, to fix and cure melanoma in Australia. That's the latest. So there's a big vaccine that's become conveniently available for that. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was just going to change the narrative a little bit. It's amazing what they're creating, isn't it? Anyway, I just had to let you guys know that. So that's the latest. We've got a jab now for skin cancer. Yes. So maybe they're even going to introduce that so you can prevent it. I'm guessing that's going to be a prevention, don't you? That's how I'm seeing it. So anyway, just had to let you guys know where we're at in Australia. That's what we've got. Let me know if there's any new jab reasons you've got in your countries. And the other thing I just wanted to quickly mention today, do you remember a few weeks ago I was telling you about that yogurt that was, during the pandemic, a lot of us, I know you guys out there, took a lot of vitamins as well. I did as well, because a lot of people were really sick. We took vitamin C, D and zinc, and that was like a common thing that a lot of us knew. There's other things you could take as well, but I was telling you about the yogurt I saw in the shops, and I had to buy it because I just had to show you that it was real. Look at that. Vitamin D and zinc. What even is that? So they're like trying to put it in our foods. So I don't understand. So if anyone's got any feedback on the vitamin D and zinc, message me down below because I'm confused. And it's got immunity. Yes, not to forget, it'll give you immunity, which we all knew in the beginning. But everybody got the jab for immunity, didn't they? So I had to share it. I'm going to actually eat it and see what it tastes like. I can't believe what is happening in the world. So we know they're playing around with and modifying foods a lot. So if you've got any that you've discovered as well, share it with us here and let us know. All right, I'm going to close my eyes. We'll get started and we'll see what comes up today. God, they're actually giving me Scotland today. Oh my gosh. They're giving me the picture of Braveheart. As we know, he's Scottish. They're showing me Scotland. Scotland might be having a fight back. Because they're giving me that Braveheart energy in Scotland. People want to stand up. They do. They want to fight back. We always get the Braveheart thing here, don't we? But I'm finally getting that the Braveheart visual is like becoming real in Scotland. It's like it's gone full circle. They're showing me it's gone back to its original source. So I feel like people in Scotland, maybe they're getting hit hard with everything, but there's movement. They're standing up. And they're showing me like there's fight back in Scotland, and it's sort of around getting off their devices and things. So they might be trying a few actual things themselves to fight back against government and lack of free speech and this kind of thing. So there might be a bit of movement around like devices, because apparently they've been heavy-handed in Scotland. See, we don't get this information globally. We know that because they're very sneaky at slipping it under the radar so nobody kind of notices. And of course, they always want to conquer and divide. So they always try and separate us as countries. That's why it's so important, and the guides always talk about us all communicating and staying connected. And we talked about the I Want to Hold Your Hand with the Beatles song the other day. Staying connected, because that's what keeps us strong. So I'm definitely getting that for Scotland. They might have felt a bit isolated in a lot of this for a while, and a little detached from everything, but I feel like Scotland, they're giving me that real Braveheart energy now. Oh God, this is a battle, isn't it? It really is. Let's see where else we go today. So, but I am feeling Scotland's fighting back in different ways. They're getting quite creative. Hang on a sec. Oh, I don't think any of us could deny this. There's a lot of people passing over. There is a lot of people passing over. It was really interesting yesterday. My daughter, she's 13, and she actually came out last night and said to me, Mum, hasn't there been an excessive amount of deaths in this town in the last year? And I went, yeah, I couldn't deny it. Admittedly, a lot of them were probably over 70. But she said, it just seems the most I've ever known of, because her school is right near the cemetery, and there's been these like huge funerals at the cemetery when I pick her up from school, like a lot of them, and she's noticed it. And for her to make that comment, I thought was interesting, because usually you hardly see a funeral. You get the odd few, you know, we know people die. That's just life. But she made the comment that a lot of people are, and I had to think back, and I thought I could probably name at least 15 in the last 6 months, admittedly older people that have died here. Whether that's a coincidence, you do have to wonder. My husband keeps coming home from work, and sort of every week he's telling me about someone's relative died, or somebody died, or oh my goodness. And we don't know what they've, well, I meant to mention the other day too, and I'm sure you guys have heard, I've known a few people that have miscarried as well. They're saying that it is affecting, well, we know it affects the menstrual cycles, but, you know, let's hope it doesn't affect long-term the youth that, with trying to have kids and things like that, because nobody knows, because these are trials. But I thought that was an interesting comment coming from my daughter, because usually if you're a teenager, you don't notice stuff like that. But she has noticed it. So I guess we have to wonder, don't we? Let me know if you've experienced any of this where you guys are living. I'll see where else we go today, but it's not great, is it? It's almost like something's tipping people over the edge. Oh, big question mark as to what that something is, of course. Not for us, but anyway. All right, let's see where else we go today. They're showing me like the banging of the drum. And this is, I said the other day, we have to march to the beat of our own drum. And this is very important. When you think of drums, it's like vibration. That's what I think of when I think of drums. It's that vibration. And that's what I'm getting for us. It's about keeping up our vibration. That's what the drums is. I mean, you even get people who, when they're doing like spiritual rituals or things like that, they often beat a drum and have a regular rhythm. If you think of the American Indians or any of these kind of things, they have that drum beat, that vibration getting sent out. Well, that's what we've got to keep doing. We've got to keep keeping our drum beat, which is marching to the beat of our own drum, but also keeping our vibration high, keeping our vibration up, so we're clear of things. And it's almost like saying, like, when you're marching to the beat of your own drum, it's sending out a vibration that sort of pushes things away in a good way. I don't mean things you want coming to you. I mean things you don't want coming to you, because it keeps you on a different level. That's what I'm getting about the drum beat, marching to the beat of your own drum. Gosh, you can beat the drums if you want. I've got some bongos in the shed that I should get out and start beating. I think, and that's a distraction too, because that comes back to music and sort of rhythm. God, we love music here, don't we? We get so much music on my channel. But I'm getting this vibration. If you keep your vibration up, it keeps you in that sort of happier and freer place, and it sort of does vibrate things away from you. It sort of pushes things away from you. I'll just see where else we go today. Hang on. Oh, getting this old song. Oh my God, we get so many songs here. It's that rhythm is a dancer, rhythm is a dancer. It's an old 80s song. Sorry guys, if you're young out there, just look it up. I'm sure there's been a remake of it. They always rehash everything, don't they? But that rhythm is a dancer, meaning rhythm comes through you and it makes you dance and come alive. And that's why music and everything is so important to us, and marching to that beat of our own drum, because that's what keeps us alive inside. I know these things sound cheesy, but that's what life's about. Life's about your vibration, because we know that you get out sort of what you get back, rather, what you put out. So if you keep your vibration high, it keeps things away from you that don't sort of match. It's about that synchronicity as well. When see that drum beat keeps you on that good synchronistic level, where it allows things to come into your experience that you want there. All right, let's see where else we go today. Oh, I'm getting the word funding. I'm getting that a lot of funding is going to start to subside. I talked about this early in the year. Funding for example, an example might be just when government gives funding for, say, a little footy field, or a shed to be built in the community. This kind of funding is going to start to drop away. I do feel like they're not going to be pouring a lot of money into... I talked about like submissions, but this funding structure is going to change. I still feel that it's going to have to... it's almost saying like people are going to have to be begging and groveling government for funding. They're not going to have the availability of the funds, is what I'm getting. Government's going to make up every excuse, because we know they don't want to pour their money into things that are like good and healthy for people, do they? They want to pour it into what they're wanting to control. So I'm getting this going to start to be this imbalance in society. It's going to become more and more obvious too. It's not going to happen immediately, but they're definitely not going to be having the availability of those funds. And they're going to use the excuse, of course, that there's no money in the pool of money and all this kind of thing, which we know is absolute garbage and lies. But again, it's just a way of controlling, and, you know, if you want funding, you have to raise it all yourself. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's just that, oh, you're just little peasants and little people, so, you know, we're not going to churn money into that. You can just sort that out yourselves. And that's what they're going to start to treat people like. And this is probably, well, happens in cities and country, I guess. But there's definitely going to be this funding. I guess you could say it's a cap. They're going to put a cap on it. So there's not going to be this great availability of funding to help communities and things. It's really going to get squashed, and the cap's going to get put on that. God, and that could even be, to be honest, that could even be around a bit of housing too, like affordable housing. There's going to be caps put on all this stuff. So if you want affordable housing, you're going to have to live in Hicksville, pretty much. You're not going to be able to live in the cities. You're going to have to move much further out. They've already been doing that a little bit here in Australia for the last few years. They've actually been moving a lot of people out of the cities into the country, especially a lot of like migrants and people that come into the country. They've done that a lot in Australia. So they've probably done that where you guys are as well. So it's this controlling of society structure that we're going to start to see more of, if that makes sense. I'll just see what else there is today. Oh, God. I'm getting England. Of course I'm getting England. Why would I not get England? There's so much happening over there. We knew it would. God, it's like the Queen didn't even die, isn't it? Let's just go. Let's go. We've got Charles out doing the old, like, king duties, which is true. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. Can you imagine seeing Charles out there? Oh, my God. Anyway, this is all very good at distractions. And we know Liz Truss got everybody offside. What was it? Some ridiculous... Something about the tax... Oh, yes, the tax... I think they were giving them a tax break, weren't they, for the wealthy? Wasn't it? I don't know. Maybe you can share if you're over there. But it was something totally ridiculous. It got everybody offside. But anyway, as I keep saying, be very aware of the distractions over there because there's a lot going on. So let's see if there's anything else in England today, in London and UK. Let's just check. Yeah, they're showing me it's like all the signposts. It's like in these areas, the signposts have gone up. So they're putting up signposts in front of the people. So it's like they're putting up road signs. So you've got the stop sign, you've got the give way sign, you've got the roadworks blockage, and here's a detour. So be very careful over there because I think they're sending you on a detour from the real road, and the all the things that are rolling out, they've actually got you on a bit of a detour road. They're trying to pretend that people are going this way when actually they're going to lead you that way once they remove the detour sign. So be aware of that over there. Hang on a second. They're very, very cunning. That's what they're saying. They're very, very cunning. There's a lot going on over there. And as we know, Liz Truss is the puppet. She's the puppet doing all the things that she's being told to do. Oh my God, it's just incredible. Why would you even just do that to yourself? Like, I don't understand. Like, anyway, I suppose they're getting paid big dollars and that, and big rewards to do all these things. So I am getting that. Yeah, Liz Truss is a bit of a puppet for the puppet show. She's getting her strings pulled, and we know that she is. Nothing new there. Hang on a sec. And it's funny, isn't it? Because people in England, they're saying to me, are quite disturbed by all this. They really are. See, people thought, you know, the Queen died and they'd have this like longer period to mourn, and it was really important to them. Like I keep saying, I know I get comments about it, but she did have that grandmotherly image that was a big part of people's lives. They went through that journey with her, a lot of older people and that, and they're quite shocked at what's going on. They actually feel like it's actually very disrespectful to the Queen that all this political stuff is like taking over and dominating the headlines. Like they're seeing it as almost ugly. Like, how did we go from this beautiful experience of the Queen dying, oh, not beautiful, but I meant the, you know, pageantry of it all, to all this shit fight, I guess you could say, in Parliament now. And this is what's disturbing people. It's making them very uncomfortable, which isn't a bad thing, because if you look at this from our perspective, it causes people to wake up, because it starts to ring alarm bells and starts to get a feeling and give them a feeling in their gut that something's amiss, something's not right. Why is this happening? And it's an uneasy feeling. So that's what I'm getting for the people in England and that at the moment, is there's an uneasy feeling of, I guess you could say, turbulence. There's like a big shake up. It feels like like you're shaking like a salt pepper shaker, and it's all being shaken up, and then it's all going to be like sprinkled out onto the people. And I think that's what's happening in England. The people are nervous as this is going to be put onto them. And we know that it is, because that's the whole goal. Like I said the other day, the little people are going to have to clean up the mess that has been created. And I referred it to the debris of London Bridge falling down, meaning the Queen dying. The little people are going to have to clean up the mess, meaning they're going to have to pay for everything. So that's what I'm getting over there. There's that uneasy feeling in people, and that's a good thing. Cause them to wake up. I'll see where else we go today. God, I'm getting New Zealand and Australia are working together. I do feel like Jacinda Ardern and Albanese and all the other leaders in these two countries are really coming together now. It's like they're really uniting. We were fractured for a long time, actually, from New Zealand. I think ScoMo created that, and of course the border's closing down with everything. But I do feel this big reconnection with, because I feel like Jacinda Ardern wants some support. She knows that she's not that popular over there. I know if you're in New Zealand, I'm guessing she's not that popular over there. She's pretty ruthless. She's been talking a lot at the moment about shutting down free speech, like in a big way, and controlling the algorithms. We saw that video with her and Macron discussing how they're going to have to use the algorithms to control any misinformation. Yes, but I feel like she's really connecting with Australia because it makes her feel stronger. Because they even realise that coming together makes them stronger as nations. Because they're playing a big part, don't you think, in this big global agenda. I mean, they're two pretty small countries, but they seem to be having a lot of say and a lot of input into all of this. So I do feel that Australia and New Zealand are kind of sharing the same ideals. Great. Well, we know where Australia's heading. Down the toilet. Hang on a sec, I'll see what else we get. God, I'm getting Europe. I'm getting Europe's very cunning. A lot of people in Europe are trying to detach from these things. I keep saying that. People in Europe, they don't want it. They want their old lives back. They want to do that al fresco dining. They want to have festivity in their life. They want to have fun. They want to have joy. They don't want to be locked down, shut down, hidden away. I'm getting that for Europe. People are trying to detach from government. A lot of people in Europe are trying to detach from government. And this is in all different aspects, not just one aspect. This is in different aspects. They're trying to find ways to detach from these narratives. And it's not easy. Like we know, we've all had to do it. It's not easy to detach. It's very, very hard. Especially when they're building a world around us that connects us to their grid, really, isn't it? It's nuts. It is. It's very hard to detach. We talk about that a lot here, like if we didn't have our smartphones and all this sort of thing. And it's funny, isn't it? Because when my sister was here, she actually said to me, did I have the Google station here in the house? I went, oh, no, because they can hear everything and that. And she said she did have it. She did have it in her house. And she actually got rid of it because she said it would just talk at random times, and it just kind of, she didn't say exactly why, but she did say it weirded her out a little bit. So she actually removed it from inside the house. That says a lot, doesn't it? It was talking to her at odd times. But imagine what they're hearing. Oh my God, ridiculous. So yes, if only we could detach. But I do feel that people in Europe are starting to switch on to, something's going on here. They are. They really are. They're showing me at the minute like lava lamps. I don't know if you guys remember lava lamps with the big bobbly things that would go through them. They were in the 60s, they were really big, and then they made a big comeback. And you plug them in and they light up. They're like a spaceship kind of thing with the bubbles that go and they make it. They're so great to watch. I love them. So I'm getting that kind of energy. It's this it's like a transformation. If you think of the way those sort of blobs work in the lava lamp, it's society's like transforming. Like it's like, that's the energy that it's showing me. It's like lighting up. So you switch a lava lamp on and then it creates a movement. So this could be the people that are starting to wake up, that are starting to light up and see what's going on. So I'm getting this. I guess what the guides are saying is it's slow like a lava lamp. The waking up, we always talk here about the waking up being like a slow snail. People are so slow at waking up. But I'm getting this lava lamp image. And when you think of it, like I said, the lava lamps were really big in the 60s. And the 60s was kind of that era of, no offense to, I grew up in the 60s. But there was a lot of the drugs and the hippie movement and everything was a little bit, wonderful. And you think of Woodstock and all this kind of stuff. So this is what I'm kind of getting for these people waking up. It's all a bit like the 60s to them. Everything's a blur. Everything's confusing. Everything's... See, in their mind, it's trickery, isn't it? It's an illusion. And that's why we're getting this lava lamp. Because there's constant movement. But there's no clarity and nothing's making sense or joining together. Like the blobs keep changing shape. And I guess you could put this down to the narrative. it keeps changing. Like it started as the jab, and now it's the renewables, and it's not forming as a big lump, and it's not making any sense. It's changing every like couple of minutes. The whole thing just keeps changing on them, and that's the image I'm getting for these people waking up. It's like they feel like they're in this blurry, hazy existence at the moment, and the lava lamp kind of represents that, just that too much change and that slow energy. And that's what I'm getting for these people that are waking up, which we know there's probably about a third of them we've concluded, haven't we, really? So that's what I'm getting. It's like the 60s, like their life's like a bit of a blur, like they've been on something, taken something. That's what it's feeling like. It's just blurry, because it's very confusing. It's confusing. It's like they can't get their clarity still. Hence the lava lamp, which represents, you know, that 60s. They want to be free. See, this is the illusion. They think they've got their life back and they're traveling and they're doing all the things they wanted, but they're really not free. They're actually sort of trapped, if you think about it, in this lava lamp, just going up and down at this really slow pace. Oh, God, it's absolutely nuts, this journey. It is. I can't believe we're here. Anyway, let me see if there's something to close with today. Oh, they're showing me today, yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys know about the wacky races I talked about yesterday in my video, which is this cartoon from many, many years ago. You might have to look it up if you're young. We were talking about Dick Dastardly and Trudeau, and Daniel Andrews were like Dick Dastardly, who was the corrupt one who would affect everyone's cars and sabotage and do everything. But it's showing me today that we're, I think her name was Penelope Pipstock, and we're this woman, I think she drove a pink car, and she always had the scarf. I just remember she had a scarf flying along, and she was very prim and proper, but she would just did her own thing. Like she just would race past people, and everybody sort of liked her, but she was unintrusive. She just kept racing her own little race. So today we're going to be left with Penelope Pipstock. Maybe look her up. Go and check her out. There's a sign. Even for you guys, I'm picturing some of you guys in the scarf, in the pink car, getting along. So basically, it's just saying that we're on our own little path in our journey, and we're sort of ignoring everything that's going on around us because we're just very focused forward. So today we are Penelope Pipstock. Oh my God, what are the gods? What are they doing to us, honestly? You do have to laugh, don't you? So that's where I'm going to leave you today. Go check out a video of the wacky races, honestly, because that feels like what we're living in at the moment. Not us, we're flying along in our little pink car with our scarf on, Penelope Pipstock, and we're just moving forward. And that's the safest place to be at the moment. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Keep moving forward. All right, I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Take care, everybody. Bye.